Live at 5, we're live at 5. I like to sing my own theme song Live at 5. Welcome to Live at 5, everybody. My name's Matt Roden.
And my name is Ryan Lee Gilbert.
Happy Wednesday, October 18th.
Happy hump day.
Ryan, well,
yes.
we have an amazing guest here. Shoba Narayan is here. Very excited. Where's Shoba? Here she is. I'm very excited about this. But I have to congratulate. Yeah, it's a big day. Ryan, why was it a big day for you and I today?
So, as you may know, some tickets went on sale today.
Yes, they did.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child coming to Broadway. Tickets went on today.
Did you get tickets?
I got tickets. Did you get tickets?
Oh, yeah, I got tickets.
We got tickets.
We got tickets. That's right.
It took us all day.
It actually was like kind of crazy in the office.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Everybody was sort of like all over, panicked. And,
yes.
But we did it.
We got our codes. We got our tickets. So we are one of the few.
Stress-free.
Two of the few, yeah.
Not really.
No, not at all. And so now our friends will beg for our tickets. Yeah. So
and so that's really, I'm in a good mood because of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But it seems like a nice news day. Like there's nothing too crazy.
News. We got some great news. A couple of our favorites, Jane Krakowski and Chris Diamatopoulos, who you may know just played Dr. Pomander in Waitress on Broadway. They have been cast in A Christmas Story Live, which will be on Fox this winter. Krakowski is playing Miss Shields, that's the teacher of Ralphie, and Mr. Diamatopoulos is playing Ralphie's dad, Mr. Parker. The roles of Miss Shields and Ralphie's dad, by the way, were originated on Broadway by current Anastasia cast members Carolyn O'Connor and John Bolton.
Who are going to be in an episode of Never Have I Ever, which Chris Diamatopoulos played last season.
Wow, look at this.
It just all comes back around.
We curate things like this for all of you.
On purpose.
Anyway, they join Andy Walken as Ralphie, Maya Rudolph, who's amazing, as Ralphie's mom, and Matthew Broderick is the narrator. And that special will air December 17th. At 7 p.m. on Fox.
It's live. It's live.
It is live. It is A Christmas Story Live.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I mean,
I'm very excited for
I
this.
loved Grease.
I loved this musical when it was on Broadway.
I never saw it.
This Tony-nominated musical.
Did they win? They won some stuff.
I don't think they won.
Nothing?
No. But they got nominated for score. They got nominated for Best Musical. It was very good. I liked it a lot.
I believe you. Speaking of Christmas musicals, Elf the Musical, which was on Broadway, I don't know the year, but it was here. It came around, and it's sort of
national tour.
It toured. It's still touring.
It's still touring.
So it's coming to Madison Square Garden, the theater at Madison Square Garden, for a very short run, December 13th through December 29th. And today we found out that Eric Gratton and Veronica J. Kuhn will join Cheers star George Wendt, who's playing Santa in the run, and Gratton will play Buddy, who's character. The elf, the elf, Buddy the elf, and Kuhn will play Jovi, which is the
love interest.
Yeah, the love interest.
Yeah.
Is it different than the movie?
Has played Jovi on the national tour before.
Yeah, is it different than the movie?
A little bit different. Yeah, but it's still like the same spirit, the same heart is all still there.
I mean, it's Elf.
Like, yeah, absolutely. There's only so much. Yeah, it lends itself.
Yeah.
A few, we have news about so many of our favorites today. So the wonderful, the unparalleled Beth Level and Christopher Sieber are joining the production of Annie at Paper Mill Playhouse this winter as well. Beth Level will play Miss Hannigan.
I love her
so excited for that. That sounds amazing. And Chris Sieber will be playing Oliver Warbucks. They will be joining Erin Mackey as Grace Farrell, Cooper Grodin as Rooster, and Peyton, Ella, and Cassidy Pry will be rotating in the role of Annie. That is scheduled to run November 22nd through December 31st in Millbourne, New Jersey.
That's a pretty stacked cast.
Yeah, I love this. An Annie at the holidays. I mean, it's
like a perfect tie-in.
Absolutely, it takes place at Christmas. Yeah, and Paper Mill is.
And Beth Level.
Beth Level. I mean, just put Beth Level in literally
That's
everything.
a perfect role for her, I think. And Sieber, I'm in.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so
Dreamgirls.
Which is not... We're not sure if it's coming to Broadway yet.
Certainly not announced.
We've heard, but
there's the whisperings.
There's the whisperings, but it's been playing in London on the West End. You might know Amber Riley was the star of this, Glee star. She won the Olivier. Yeah, she. Oh my God, that amazing performance on the Oliviers. And now she's leaving the show, so 3 actresses are going to play the role, different performances throughout the week, starting on November 20th, and they are. I'm having an imaginary drum roll in my head.
Yep.
Moya Angela. Is that how you say that?
Yep, I think so.
Yep. Karen Mav.
Mav.
And a friend of mine, I'm like, this is so exciting.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
Marisha Wallace.
Marisha.
Not Mariska Hargitay. That's a different person.
A different friend.
Different friend. Marisha's been playing. She's been undersinging.
She's been part of it for a while.
And this is great. Like, this is so exciting for these three women to have like an opportunity to perform like that. It's great. November.
Also joining on November 20th.
Brennan Lark.
Yes, from Les Mis.
Les Miserables.
She's playing Dina Jones.
Currently on the national tour. She's not on the national tour, but Les Mis is on tour. So Singer City, you should go see it.
Yes.
What else?
J. Armstrong Johnson. How great and adorable is he? He is hosting his this is back by popular demand. J. Armstrong Johnson's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Feinstein's 54 Below on actual Halloween. It is conceived, written, and directed by J. Armstrong Johnson, and it's backed by an 8-piece band. Great people going to be a part of this. Alicia Umphris, his co-star from On the Town, Major Attaway in Aladdin, Ben Fankhauser, Julia Madison, Danny Quadrino, Kirsten Anderson from the Sound of Music tour, and Kate Thompson. Audiences, you guys that might go, you're encouraged to dress in Halloween attire because there will be a costume contest at the end. And the two shows on Halloween, 7 o'clock and 9:30 p.m.
Have you seen the posters for this?
I have not. No.
You haven't seen them in
I have
full?
Not. No.
I want to see if I can find a picture of Jay. They do because they do the Sanderson sisters. Like that's the whole thing.
Yes.
So they do like this whole So I'm into it.
I think it's so cool.
And cool that he's like written a show and it's
he's
just
super talented.
Yes. Yeah. And all good peeps. MCC, the Miscast Benefit, which is one of my favorite events of the year, and also one of the probably most requested and watched video content on the internet.
Absolutely.
This year they're paying tribute to Laurie Metcalf.
It's about time.
About time.
That's what I say.
So MCC, did she premiere it in The Other Place?
So the MCC produced The Other Place originally, and then helped with the transfer to Broadway when it was at MTC.
And that was her.
Yeah, The Other Place. Yeah, she got a Tony nom for it. Yeah, she's amazing.
Knew that. And she's coming back to Broadway in All These Three Tall Women.
Yeah.
In February of 2018. By the way, she was so good in A Doll's House Part 2.
I mean, incredible. And she's also like currently filming the Roseanne reboot. Remember? Like she won like 9,000 Emmys for Roseanne, and they're rebooting Roseanne, and she's part of that as well. She's super busy.
Okay.
Busier than ever.
You're gonna kill me. I've never
The Age
watched
of Laurie
Roseanne.
Metcalf.
I've never watched Roseanne in my whole entire life. Yeah.
When does Miscast take place?
The day before my birthday, March 26, 2018, at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It really is a beautiful event.
It is. It's so much fun. It's a blast. And there's a couple things on the site, by the way, that you should be looking at. The Parisian Woman, they met the press today. Beau Willimon's new play featuring Uma Thurman, Josh Lucas, Philippa Sue. You can go see, and Blair Brown, of course. You can go see photos of that event and a new season of Show People with Paul Wontorek.
Starts today, babe!
Woohoo! And the guest is Derek Klena. And he talks about making his big break on the New York stage scene, talks about his marriage proposal. He talks about taking photos with all of you at the stage door, and he gets drunk on vodka. Just kidding. He has a shot of vodka.
Just a shot. Drunk. Equity 1.
He's very busy.
Equity 1.
And that, I believe, is all the news.
That's it, Ryan?
I think that's it. I've done my part.
One more time, congratulations on getting
your Harry Potter tickets. Yes, congratulations to you, too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good effort.
We'll be right back with Shoba Narayan, everybody.
Throw your rocks at me.
Baking a pie is easy, if you know how.
I'm still standing.
If only life were as easy as pie. Waitress is a hit, raves the New York Times, with songs by Grammy-nominated artist Sarah Bareilles, an uplifting celebration of love and laughter. Sugar, butter, flour.
On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window.
Broadway's Come From Away is a Best Musical winner all across North America. This stirring and inspiring musical takes you to a place you never want to leave. Celebrate the best of humankind and the best in all of us at Come From Away, the remarkable true story of the small town that welcomed the world.
Which camera should I look at?
Whichever one has the little red light on. So right now it's that one, which they can't really see you. They can only see me,
Okay.
which is why I'm going to tell them that right now I am joined by one of the original cast members of the Great Comet of 1812. That's true? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812. Great Comet. Someone who I've known for now, I guess it's like 6, 7 years. Oh my God, this is a long time. Please give a warm welcome from wherever you're watching to Shoba Narayan, everybody. Round of applause. Thank you for a very quiet studio audience today. Shobes, what's going on?
Oh, you know.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy that it finally feels like fall outside.
Oh my God. Tell me about it.
I'm on a high, like I said from earlier, from getting my Harry Potter tickets. So like things are like really good for me.
Things are great.
So the reason that you're here, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but
Okay.
the reason that you're here is to talk about this, the show you're doing at 54 Below. Now, before we get into your show,
Okay.
I want to talk about the series because this is something it's not just you. Like,
No, it's not just me.
it's like everybody, right?
It's a good 12 cast members that are doing
It's a
solo
lot of
shows.
people.
It's a lot of people. I mean, our show was like 30.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you're
like
each
half of
doing
us.
like different solo shows at
Yes.
54 Below.
Yes.
How often? Like every other week? Just about every other week?
Yeah. Just about.
And was this your idea? Yeah. You're a star.
Our producer
You're a
is here.
star. Producer Phil you're a star. That's so cool, and I think it's so great, especially because I mean you guys obviously had a really engaged fan base.
We did, and we closed pretty abruptly.
Yes.
So we won't get into that.
No.
But this whole process has been a great reunion for all
Yeah.
the fans and for our cast members, and therapeutic in a way.
I'm
to
sure
be
it has
together
been,
and to
I'm
work
sure.
together again on
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah,
So,
and original.
yeah. So in a way, the comet lives on
It kind of does.
with these shows.
The Comet lives on like in my heart always, but I'm glad that it's getting to live on in these shows.
Yeah.
So you have a couple people making special guest appearances in your show.
I do.
Is everybody kind of like hopping on everybody else's shows and just like popping in and like saying hi and giving like, little performances?
Yeah, I think that there have been quite a few like Comet castmate cameos. But I think every show is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
Because
I
they're very
have-
individual. They're very much like it's based on you.
based on what material I
Right.
decide to, what
Yeah.
stories I decide to tell. So
Yeah.
my friend Derek Klenna is joining me, and two of my castmates, Courtney Bassett
Love.
and Kennedy Cockle,
Love.
are joining me too.
So your show, tell me about show.
Show business.
Come on. I mean, how does it get any better than that? Show business. Tell me about show business. When did you approach her about doing? Did he approach you about doing this?
Yes, he
And
did.
what was your first reaction?
Well, my director of the show, Sammy Knold, who
Mm-hmm.
is the associate director on Comet, a few months ago, she had told me, you should really do a solo 54 Below show. And I was like, no, really? And so when I was approached with this idea, I was like, okay, I think it's a sign. I should probably go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole premise of the show is to kind of introduce audiences to my experience being in the business, kind of going down memory lane and sharing stories and songs that are closely associated with my life and my career so far. So you'll hear all about what inspired me when I was little, the things that I used to do, like put on shows for my family that were mandatory.
Mandatory.
They were mandatory.
Mandatory attendance.
Mandatory attendance.
Had to be there.
You had to buy handcrafted tickets made out of construction paper.
Of course.
Premium seats.
Of
That
course.
was the living room couch.
Great.
No recording devices.
Of any
meaning
kind?
No home videos.
No home videos.
No home videos, except, of course, my parents snuck in some home
Yeah,
videos,
of
which I
course.
will
Yeah, you'll be
actually
grateful.
show at the party.
Great.
At the party, at the concert.
It's a party,
It
though.
is a party.
It is a party.
Yeah, so I'll kind of tell that story. I'll tell the story of my first audition and what that experience
Yeah.
meant to me, my first musical, how I fell in love with it.
And the songs are sort of tied into each of those stories.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pop music or musical theater music?
Both.
Great.
You know I love a good pop song.
Yes, I do. I am very, very, very aware of that fact. I guess what was sort of the beginning for you? How did you get into performing? When did you get bitten by the bug?
It's kind of strange. I mean, I started putting on these performances. I don't know how or why,
Yep.
but it was a bug that lived inside of me for some reason. So yeah, I started giving performances at home. Pretty soon, I started taking ballet lessons and classical Indian dance lessons, classical voice lessons, Indian classical voice lessons, violin, just like so many things. And I never, unlike most kids, I never quit anything. So that was...
Because you're a finisher.
I was a finisher. And even when it came time for school, I picked a major that had music, dance, and theater.
All three.
I didn't want to quit anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I auditioned for my first musical when I was 9. And my mom took me to this audition after one of my lessons, and I just learned to song and dance on the spot. I thought everyone could do that. You know, pretty simple stuff.
Guess not.
Guess not. Got the role, and I just became obsessed.
Yeah.
I learned every line, every lyric.
What was the show?
The King and I.
I mean, and like what a beautiful piece of work to be your first like.
Seriously.
You were playing.
I was playing one of the kids, one of the royal.
I thought you were playing.
Tuptim.
Yeah,
No.
Anna. You
Anna?
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
As like a 9-year-old, or the king. That's really what I was like hoping for, was like the king.
Yeah. One day.
I think your background is super interesting too, because first of all, the fact that you grew up having the exposure to all those different types of creative expression, I think is amazing, because you kind of were able to not limit yourself to one thing.
Totally.
You were able to like sort of apply the creative energy that you had to all these different things in your life, and were able to just sort of, and the fact that you're a finisher too, you know, you didn't quit, which like I started piano and like immediately was like, no, thank you. Wish I had stayed with it. I apologize, Mom.
There are pros and cons.
Pros and cons, but ultimately, I mean, you look at something like The Great Comet, which I think really took advantage of hyphenators, the people that were able to not only sing and dance and act, but also play an instrument and bring something different, bring something super unique, and I think, at least in my interpretation, super individual to the thing. And I feel like that's where the industry sort of, at least for me, I see the industry moving in that direction.
Yeah, it's great.
So I guess I'm wondering if you have any sort of like advice or thoughts on the importance of having like different skills, of having different abilities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think pursue anything that you are drawn to. You know, when I was growing up, I felt like I did way too many activities, but I think it's serving me really well because it does make you unique, and I think you need to embrace what makes you unique and what interests you, and you just never know.
Did the
did the
Indian voice training and Indian dance training like have an impact on sort of the rest of your life? I mean,
yeah, definitely. Indian classical dance is half of it is acting. It's storytelling.
Really?
So I feel like that theatrical bug came out of my classical Indian dance training, telling stories from mythology or telling stories from real life or poetry. Those are all things that I was doing when I was very, very young. It definitely impacted me in a very, very big way. Indian classical voice lessons helped me a lot with riffing.
I was gonna say like literally like that is like you're a riff queen, like.
Oh, thank you.
You know, which is
mean,
like.
I feel like it just came naturally to me because of that training.
Right.
So, just whatever you are interested in, just go for it.
When did you first hear about Great Comet? When's the first time you heard about Great Comet?
I heard about Great Comet back in 2013. I was doing a show called Bunty Berman Presents off-Broadway.
Yes, I remember.
And that was my off-Broadway debut, and I had heard about Great Comet. I mean, no one called it the Great Comet. Everyone called it Natasha Peron, the Great Comet of 1812. I heard about it then. I heard the music.
Did you go see it?
I eventually went and saw it. Thought it was spectacular.
Where did you see it? Downtown or the tent in Midtown?
Downtown.
Okay.
Downtown. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. And then...
Did you think at the time, were you sitting in the audience being like, I could book this?
Well, I didn't know like what the future of it was going to be.
Of course.
I don't think anyone really knew because it was so out there.
Yeah.
So I heard about the auditions for the Broadway run, and they were looking for a Natasha understudy as well as someone that could play these instruments. And I was like, you know what? This might be perfect. This might be perfect. And the role was just I mean, the role of Natasha is worth the fight.
And
for sure.
Like, as soon as I had heard that you booked, like you got the job, I was like, oh my God, like that music is gonna sound so gorgeous in your voice, because I really think like it's such a testament to timing. Like it's a matter of like being in the right place at the right time and like fitting into the thing that like it's just like perfect for you. The fact that you were able to play instruments and like you're a person of like you're a woman of color and can understand, like it's just it all was perfect.
It was perfect. And I think something that I have personally struggled with, which is something that I'll bring up a little bit with the show, is my 54 Below show, is not really knowing if I had a place within the industry, because I am such a specific ethnicity that there really is nothing there's nothing written for me yet, except for Aya in The Secret Garden.
Yeah.
But I'm able to play these traditionally Caucasian roles. So it's just waiting for someone to take that chance.
Take the chance.
And thankfully, creative teams are starting to do it and give women of color a chance to portray these gorgeous characters.
I mean, and I think Greg Comet was such a troubadour in that sense. You guys had every color and size, and I mean, it just seemed like it was like bursting at the seams with like diversity and individuality. I mean,
Totally.
it really, at least in my interpretation, again, like I was always just so overwhelmed because it always felt like I was seeing like real human beings. Like I felt like I was seeing like the people that I see every day, like on it. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. And the interactions that we had with
I was
audience
gonna say,
members
tell me
were
about
so, I mean, I don't know if I will ever have the luxury of being able to look someone eye to eye in the
that
eyes
way.
and have a moment that will never be recreated again. Every single one of our shows were completely different based on audience energy, who was there that night, where they were sitting, how people were feeling, how much people had to drink.
Yeah, of course.
It was such a joy, and it kept things fresh. It kept us all honest.
Yeah, I can imagine it keeps you all you have to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like very hard to be false in that setting because literally it's like I was sitting this close.
So if you are shut off and you're mentally not there, we could never do that.
How could you?
Could never do that.
You can't
which
engage.
was great.
Yeah.
And it just gave the show so much more energy.
Was it hard doing the show?
Energy-wise,
Yeah.
yes. Also, our set was
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of stairs.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm inferring. Is that like was it like physically was it demanding?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
8 times a week.
8 times a week, running around with instruments, running up and down the stairs, really fast costume changes. When I went on for Natasha, I was wearing a corset. We didn't mark the undergarments. I was wearing a very tight corset and, 12 undergarments. That huge coat.
Yep, that big
The
coat.
Can
Yep.
we talk about the coat?
I mean, it's a gorgeous coat.
I wanted to take it after we closed, but
You didn't get it?
but alas.
Didn't get that one?
Didn't get that
What?
one.
So wait, you were an ensemble member and understudying Natasha. Did you understudy any of the other principals?
No, I didn't understudy any of the other principals.
How many times did you get to go on for Natasha? Like a
lot.
Like a lot.
I didn't count, but
You
yeah.
went on with Josh.
I went on with Josh.
You went on with Dave.
Dave.
And you went on with.
Oh.
You went on with all three.
And Scott.
And Scott.
Yes.
Tell me about that, because not only because you're coming in as the understudy, going like, okay, I'm gonna come in and try to bring something new and fresh, and also sort of fit into the track of the way I know things move, but then you're dealing with a whole nother human being on the other side that has a pattern and has an energy. What was that like, adjusting to each, and sort of what were the different energies of each of those guys? I mean, I saw Josh and Dave and Oak, and 3 different shows. I mean, 3 completely different shows.
And they're 3 different Pierres.
Yeah.
Honestly. Just very, very different. Josh was so lovely. We were all just so blown away by him coming from, this other world and really giving his everything to the role. It was really, really beautiful. Dave, there's nothing like performing with Dave. He's the OG. He's
so good.
He is Pierre. He's just the sweetest. So that performance for me was probably my favorite, if I were to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very special.
And I think we now have to, since the people want it, we have to take some questions from the internets. Yeah. So let's, oh my God, comment starter previews a year ago today. Today's the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
It's like I planned it. I didn't, but it's like I did. I know, feeling all the feels.
Feeling all the feels.
You guys have to do a reunion of some kind. You got to do a reunion concert of some kind. The people want it. That's what they want.
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's going to be a surprise at my concert.
What?
For Comet fans.
What do you mean there's going to be a surprise?
So I highly suggest, if you are a fan of Comet, you
got to come
to
see the show. I'm in. Look at this. Teasing. Fine. This is what I want. I want the facts. I want to know. Bradley wants to know, if you could play one male role in Great Comet, who would you play?
Anatole.
You'd be fierce.
He gets away with everything.
Everything. Yeah. Everything.
Everything.
You'd be great
He's
as
larger than life.
Alec wants to know, do you have a dream role? I'm curious. I mean,
yes, I have lots of dream roles.
I bet.
I'd love to play Christine in Phantom of the Opera someday when they decide to go brown.
Have they never? Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One day.
One day.
Yeah.
I'll be the brown Christine.
I'm ready. I'm into that.
I've been ready for a very long time.
Yeah, you could sing the hell out of that.
Eponine.
Haley wants to see you as Anastasia.
Okay.
You in?
I mean, I'm ready, Disney.
Yeah, you're ready.
Any Disney princess.
George wants to know, are there any directors or writers that you'd love to work with?
Oh, geez. Directors, writers.
I mean, you've worked with...
I've worked with Rachel Chapkin.
Yeah, I mean, some of the best.
She's hard to top. I mean... Yeah, so many.
So many. Songwriters?
Songwriters.
If you could have one...
If I could,
yeah.
If Dave Malloy could write me an entire album...
Yeah, you'd be in?
I'd be in.
Okay, deal. I'm into that. Elliot wants to know, what inspired you to go into acting as a career, and did you ever want to do anything else?
What inspired me to go into acting? I think it just, it gelled all of my interests. It gelled the music, the dancing, the storytelling. What could be better?
I don't really know.
And would I do anything else? I don't think so. At one point I thought I was going to be an orthodontist.
At what point did you think you were going to be an orthodontist?
I think I don't know. I think I would really enjoy it.
I'm sure you'd be great, but when did that come into your brain? While you were at school?
Let's remember what kind of family I come from.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I come from a very, typical South Asian family where, you don't go into the arts. So, being a doctor, being an orthodontist was definitely...
a great profession.
A great profession in the cards. But I was a show kid.
Is your family so proud of you?
They are
really
so
really excited?
Oh, they're so excied. They're the best.
They came and saw.
Oh, yes. My parents brought I don't know, 100 people from Philly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They were super
amazing.
excited. Yeah, I mean, being able to share that experience with them was absolutely wonderful. Bringing them up on stage, up on this Broadway stage, and showing them around, and was really, really special.
Oh my gosh, these are good questions. Alec, funniest audience interaction at Great Comet.
Oh my gosh. Well, the best thing about Comet is if you're on your phone, we're not going to keep quiet about it. So
you had a couple.
We've whacked a few phones out of people's hands. We've actually eye to eye said, "Oh, we don't have phones here in 1812. Phones don't exist yet."
You're like, sorry, no thanks.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of doing it.
Gosh, I mean, the audience there were so many funny stories. I can't even begin to think.
Avery wanted to know how was it being the first South Asian leading lady on Broadway since Bombay Dreams? What did that feel like?
I didn't think too much about it.
Okay, but you can't not. I mean,
yeah. I think that if I was seeing it,
yes,
it would be very strange.
Yeah,
'cause I I have never seen a South Asian woman starring as an ingenue in a show that isn't about Indian people.
Correct.
So yeah, but I mean, what did mean a lot to me was going to the stage door.
That was my next question. Was like, did you
And-
get feedback from the audience that was like,
Yes,
oh my
yes.
God.
Every time I did a show and I saw a South Asian girl in the audience, I can't even begin to tell you how their eyes lit up because they saw someone that looked like them. They were
Mm-hmm.
just like staring at me the entire time,
Yeah.
just completely like taken aback.
Which
I
is such a
guess.
gift. I mean, it's such a gift.
It's wonderful. And then, you know, the best part about it was going to the stage door and meeting them. And, you know, some of them couldn't form sentences. And I could make out what they were saying, but they were that emotional
Yeah.
about this being the first and how much it mattered to them. And I've gotten a lot of letters,
Yeah.
tons of letters saying, you know, now we have Priyanka Chopra on Quantico and we have Mindy Kaling and now we have you on Broadway. So that
must feel very good.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I hope it continues. I hope that it inspires more South Asian girls to see that it's a possibility.
Yeah,
now.
I'm always hopeful that, you know, when a show like Comet comes in, it not only can make an impact on an audience now, but it can inspire the people that are in the audience to then go out and create work and make things
Yeah.
and give people the courage to make things that do push the boundaries and do push the limits and do, you know, create an inclusive, diverse community. We need all those things.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
And I'm like so glad that you guys get to like have this like run at 54 Below where you all just
Oh,
get to
me
like hang
too.
out and play music. Like I'm so into that. And like that's amazing that you did that. I'm pumped that you got her and I'm pumped that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Date again is
Okay, October 20th.
October 20th.
This is on Friday,
Friday night.
and it's at 11:30. And
So
I
it's going to be
know it's
lit.
late.
It's going to be no,
It's
going
to be
lit.
late, but lit.
Yeah, late and lit.
So
If you're
get
here,
your coffee.
Yes.
Take a nap
Are
before.
you
if
filming
need
it? Are you
to.
filming it?
Yes, we are
Okay.
filming it.
Good.
But
I mean, no.
come.
I'm not. I'm just saying for the people that live like you know in not in New York, will they be able to see anything that you're doing? But I'm glad that
Yes.
that's true. If you're in New York, Friday night, 11:30,
11:30 at 54 Below.
gorgeous venue. Okay.
Gorgeous venue.
Used to work there. Thank you so much.
We have a fantastic band.
How many? Wait,
Four.
4 pieces.
4 pieces.
I'm thinking of the news that was from earlier.
4 pieces, great guest appearances, wonderful set list, a surprise for Comet fans.
Hint, hint. And Shoba Narayan, I appreciate you and I adore you.
I
and
appreciate you.
I thank you for coming through.
Of course.
It's very fun for me to be able to get to sit with you and hang out with you like this.
Yeah.
After
Feels like the old days.
feels like the old days. We went to college together. In case you
Yeah,
didn't
we did.
catch on to that yet. I love you.
Love you
Have a
too.
great show on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Alive at the 5. Bye, everybody.